luxurious villas and mansions, luxury cars, famous brands, a carefree life, and only one headache: where to put so much money. This is exactly how ordinary people imagine the owners of drug cartels. Is this true, or have we ourselves collected this image from bright pictures of Hollywood blockbusters? Let's find out together. Greetings, my dear viewers. In my last video, I introduced myself to you. Let me remind you that I am the owner of the largest marketplace on the darknet in the countries of the former Soviet Union. Today, I would like to talk to you about a topic that is certainly of interest to any representative of the psychoactive substances. Today, you will find out how much the average drug cartel earns operating on the darknet. First things first. In order to understand what amounts go into the wallets of the heads of drug cartels, it is worth conducting a detailed analysis of the turnover and commissions in those places where the cartel operates. On average, a top store or chain of stores brings in from $500,000 to $1 million in net profit per month, with a monthly turnover of $2 to $4 million. This amount is indicated taking into account the site commission. Now a little about the commissions themselves. On Blacksprut, OMG, and Solaris, the commission on each transaction is equal to 2% of the amount. On other resources such as MEGA, a progressive commission scale is set. 5% of transactions up to $3,000, 3% of transactions from $3,000, and up to $35,000 for transactions above these amounts. The site takes only 1.5% of the amount, which in turn is a more advantageous offer for large players. As an example, I gave you the pricing policy of marketplaces on the Russian black market, because that's where we work. Agree, when the amount of your transactions crosses the threshold of 2 million, every 0.1% of profit is felt. The income of any drug cartel in our country is formed due to the following criteria: the purchase of wholesale contraband. Here, the mechanism resembles a black exchange like in New York on Wall Street in the 20th century. Whoever goes first gets the slippers. Organization of logistics in Russian cities. The head of the cartel is bad who does not want to spread his network from Amsterdam to Kaliningrad, but for this we need carriers. Where can we get them? On any marketplace and in any store, you can come across a lot of advertisements for a set of carriers. The conditions are simple. You make a deposit, pick it up at point A, take it to point B. The carrier has a fixed rate for each kilometer traveled. It is also worth considering that the amount of the deposit tens, or even hundreds of times higher than that of an ordinary courier. After all, roughly speaking, you will not carry 50 grams from Amsterdam to Budapest. Load at least 1 kilogram. Production of synthetic products: methadone, mephedrone, alpha, MDM, as well as cultivation of marijuana. Organizing a laboratory or growing is risky and costly, but at the same time very profitable in the end. The cartel invests in premises, equipment, consumables, pays for the work of the employee, and at the output receives a clean finished product, firsthand. The income from which is tens of times greater than the sum of all costs of the organization. Retail trade: if before, in order to grab a smoke for the evening, you look for a person who knew a guy who, in turn, had the number of the dealer next door. Now, everything is much simpler, safer. You make a purchase in the store you like and receive information about your order. But just imagine the journey this gram of hashish takes from the warm country of the producer to that very treasured treasure. This is where retail couriers come into play. Receiving a fixed rate for one treasure made, they arrange the received master treasures into positions of small weight. But what kind of profit comes with retail trade? Not bad at all, I tell you. Let's say the head of the cartel sends 1 kilogram of heads to City N, which he took for $5,000. That's $5 per gram. On display in the dark marketplace, it will already cost $50, or even more. Subtract the payment to the courier. Let's say it will be $10 for the treasure and a commission to the site in the amount of $10. It turns out that with costs equal to $25, the head of the cartel receives a net profit of 50% from 1 gram, and there are 1,000 of them. Undoubtedly, a competent businessman always includes a certain percentage of losses, but in the end it still turns out to be quite a substantial amount. Many of you have noticed, and even become tired of endless advertising about hiring employees for a store that promises you untold wealth and a luxurious life. If I conduct a detailed review of the promised and actual amounts, I can say that in general the stores do not deceive. But no one writes that you need to work hard for this. So how much do employees of a promising store earn on average? Let's look at all the syndicate participants. On average, couriers earn from $2,000 to $5,000 per month of work. Warehouses, as a rule, are a fixed amount, from $8,000 to $13,000. Carriers from $10,000 to $15,000 per flight. Growers receive from $20,000 to $25,000 per month, depending on the volume produced. Now, about the salaries of those who conduct their activities remotely. Store operators receive an average of $2,000 to $3,000 a month, plus bonuses in the same amount. Operator curators generally receive a fixed rate, on average $3,000. Store administrators earn from $5,000 to $15,000 a month. Deputy administrators are $5,000 to $10,000 a month. The store owner takes as much as is required in a particular month. As you can see, these numbers are not so exorbitant. The bloggers, information technology specialists, or highly qualified specialists in various fields earn quite comparable money, if not more. Unfortunately, there is another statistic that 9 out of 10 of those who choose this field of activity end up in the jail. In order to succeed in this business, serious intelligence and a special adventurous mentality are required, and not everyone has a combination of these qualities. Invest money in a legal business. Time is your main enemy.